And a happy Friday to my Canadian friends as well. A little bit of news about our country and the direction that it's headed in. Trudeau has just unrolled another benefit program entitled the Canada Recovery Benefit. And what does that entail? Well, it entails a lot more borrowing of money for certain people who won't be receiving EI during the shutdown, lockdown, emergency, pandemic, etc. One senior public servant described the expensive schedule of social programs coming down as a structural change in the way government in this country operates. Now, I talked earlier a little bit about the United Nations asking what is more important to people right now in the world. Should we focus on economies and how people are going to get through COVID, etc.? A whole bunch of questions to do with that. That could be in direct relation to the United Nations, this plan that he's unrolling, with them wanting to restructure the financial and economic paradigm of the world because of the COVID crisis. I'm certain that's the most important thing that we need to pay attention to. I don't know if there's even anything we can do about it other than say no, but a lot of people aren't going to say no. They're going to say yes, and we'll see why, because they're making it pretty easy for a lot of people to be on board with this. What it brings to us in the future is going to be difficult to say, but we'll read on. What I feel to be the most important takeaway from this is that the new emergency benefit of $400 a week will replace the CRB at the end of this month and will cost $22 billion over the next year. However, the Liberals have not ruled out the change being made permanent, meaning they might leave it in place for longer than a year, effectively creating a guaranteed basic income, unless it gets revoked. That will take another government to make that happen. Will there even be time? It's hard to say. Critics point out that in many ways CRB is much more generous than CERB, which cuts off benefits after recipients earn $1,000 a month in income. So if you make more than $1,000 a month, you don't get CERB. Under the CRB, recipients don't see their benefit impacted until they earn $38,000 a year and don't see it clawed back entirely until they earn almost $60,000 a year, $58,000. So you're going to receive government income even if you're earning between $38,000 a year and $58,000 a year. And we're going to break those numbers down a little bit more with the next article. I'm going to show you for how much money that actually is that people are making that they're still going to receive extra. A worker claiming CRB and working part-time is likely to earn more than a minimum wage earner working full-time. As the recovery takes hold, the concern among some economists is that a permanent CRB would be a disincentive to returning to the workforce, resulting in labor shortages, which could turn into, oh, hey, we don't have enough people for jobs up here. If we're still shut down when COVID's around, it's hard to say if they would transport people at this point. I don't know if they actually are accepting any immigration or refugees at this point, but that to me could be something that might indicate. So we'll see on that. Nonetheless, to break all of this down, I think the thing, once again, that's more important is that we're looking at creating a new money, new finances. That's what's going to come. So do you qualify for the CRB? Before you apply, you need to see if you qualify for the benefit. You must be a Canadian above 19 years of age. You must not have EI and are out of work or are earning less because of the pandemic. Now, whether or not you can even prove that it's because of the pandemic is the next thing. That's a pretty gray area, in my opinion. So the CRA has removed the $1,000 maximum earning limit. So you can apply for the CRB even if you are working. You can get the CRB until your annual net income reaches $38,000, as stated before, which equates to $3,166 a month. So, I mean, that's, I think, pretty livable. I think most people could live on that, to household income. If both people are making close to that, you'd be all right. There's lots of affordable places to live for that price range. After that, the CRA will phase out your CRB payment at a rate of 50 cents for every dollar earned above the $3,166. So that's until you get to the $58,800. It will be reduced slowly up until that point. Once you hit almost 60 grand, then the government will decide that people don't have to keep helping you, that people don't have to go broke paying your makeup and income, so your quality of life doesn't have to change while we get smashed with taxes and high income tax. And that's the things that's going to be coming. People are worried about it being passed on to our children. I wouldn't worry about that. We'll probably be dealing with it within this decade before your children are even going to be paying for their own bills. So there's some scary news for everyone as to what's going on with our economics and whether or not it's going to be good or not. I mean, it would be a really big surprise if this actually worked out and created some kind of utopia. But you should look up the word utopia and find out what that actually means. Anyway, I'm sure we'll have another update on this as time goes on. So peace out for now and have a good weekend. I'm sure going to try to have a good weekend. Like I said, I'm not going to pay attention to any news if I can help it this weekend. It doesn't really make you feel too good sometimes. So anyway, have a good one.